So you have a silent majority in this country that feels abused, that feels forgotten, that feels mistreated. And it's a term that hasn't been brought up in years, as you know. People haven't heard that term in many years. And it's sort of interesting as to why. There are all different reasons. But I think it's a very descriptive term. Every time I speak, I have sold-out crowds. Every time I speak, I have standing ovations. Every single time. It's the silent majority. They want to see wins. They want to see us have victory.
All our time is spent discussing this rodeo clown.
At this point in the campaign, politics is entertainment. But as you get close to a decision and people say, do we really want the World Wrestling Federation atmosphere in the Oval Office, I think people will flinch.
Welcome back to the Daily Wrap. That was Donald Trump yesterday in Greenville, South Carolina, continuing his campaign for president. Now, while Trump brings in huge crowds of mainstream Republicans, there people like Charles Krauthammer and George Will, they call him a distraction. Is Trump hurting the GOP or helping? We're joined now by somebody that I like to call the king of Newsmax TV, Steve Malzberg. Welcome, Steve.
Good to see you guys.
So
good to be here. Oh, stop it. Stop it. You know, they call Lundqvist, the goalie for the Rangers, the king, and I hate that because he's never won anything. I've really never won anything either. If I win the lottery, you could call me the king.
Okay. Now, mainstream Republicans continue to have no idea what to do with Trump, which I think is absolutely amazing. He continues to rise in the polls, and his flame seems to burn ever brighter. What is the mainstream missing?
I think they're missing everything Donald Trump said in that soundbite. I think he's speaking, everything he said is absolutely true. He doesn't, for whatever reason, he doesn't need their money, he doesn't care, that's his personality. He's saying it like people want it said. He's doing it like people want it done. And he's bringing up issues, and if someone says you're a racist, he says, shut up, sit down. I mean, that's what people want.
That's all true what you just said. He is saying things the way they want to hear it. But we all can agree, with the exception possibly of immigration, where he's saying something, but he's saying things that can't really be done. What's he saying?
Well, he's saying as much as anybody else.
He is getting better. I mean, he came out today with some sort of a tax code and said that within 4 weeks he would have some policies. I mean, I think that he understands, Rick, because we've said that many, many times here, that he needs to say something and he needs to have some policies.
The problem is he said he was the king. Sorry, he took your title.
That's okay.
He said he's the king of the tax code. I beg to differ. But here he's got a problem because he's already said he wants to raise taxes on the wealthiest. Right. And then at the same time, and in fact in the same interview, he said he wanted the flat tax. Those two don't go together, folks.
No, they don't. But as you know, I don't see a lot of candidates out there. I mean, what is Bernie Sanders' specific policy on anything? What is Hillary's specific policy on anything?
We're not getting Hillary's. We are getting Bernie.
Yeah, well,
Sanders.
maybe. And what about the other Republican candidates, who, by the way, for the most part, except for a few, are invisible? Now, you could say that's the media's fault, but as long as he's up top of the polls, that's who the media is going to cover.
No disagreement.
Well, and the thing is that's sad about that is that a lot of the others, for example, do have a tax plan. Carly Fiorina's come forward with something of a tax plan. Rubio has come forward with a tax plan. Many of them have talked about a flat tax, but you don't hear about it. You don't hear about policies. You hear just whatever Trump says.
But I think that's what's going to happen. Just like we're far out now, and people say, "Oh, Trump's going to fade." We're far out now, and people don't care about specifics. They just care about, wow, look what this guy's doing. Look what he's telling. He's spitting in the face of the establishment.
But so with that being said, you know, one of the things that Republicans and Democrats have to do is pick somebody who can be elected. Now, all we have to go on right now are the polls. And as this guy surges, not just trickles up, surging in the polls, at what point will the GOP finally say, we got to get behind this guy? Or will they? Would they rather lose than have him as president?
If he wins the nomination, they'll get behind him, but I don't think they're going to get behind. You're not going to find Charles Krauthammer, and even then, Krauthammer and Will may never get behind Trump.
Yeah, how do they come? I was going to raise
Never.
that. How do they ever come back from that?
They
I mean,
never
you have
do.
two of the biggest voices on the conservative side. I know you respect Krauthammer.
Oh, I respect both of them to an extent.
And look at what they're saying. Yeah. How do they ever come back and support a Trump candidacy?
They'd have to say, I support the candidate. I support the candidate no matter who it is.
I don't think they can.
Yeah, I think that they're really counting on the fact that this is just going to at some point burn out.
If they want to call him a clown and continue that even if he's the nominee, then they say, hey, it's the clown, which I don't agree with, against the criminal. And who are you going to vote for?
If she's the nominee.
Well, Yeah,
And
right
I
now.
assume that's who you're referring to.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. She of the orange jumpsuit, yes.
And we've already seen different people in the media having to come back from what they're saying. They're like, at first, they're like, there's no way this guy will be anything. As soon as the immigration stuff came out, there's no way he's going to surge in the polls. And it just keeps happening. You're already having to see people come back and say, and I just don't understand how this is happening.
I thought the McCain thing, I thought he was done.
So did I.
I thought that
was
he was
I thought,
done, and nobody
especially-
cared.
Especially with the audience that was supporting him at the time,
Yeah.
with vets and everything. I thought he was done.
Well, we've all done it. I have been wrong. I mean, what did I once say on this show? I said that he had a 15% max.
Yeah.
That was his big. He's coming up on 40.
Doubling, yeah, more than
Yeah.
doubled it. Yeah, he's really touched a nerve.
But I do think we have to all keep in mind it's August,
Of
and it's
015.
August of 015.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So-
when it
But he's not. I'm sorry, he's not Bachmann, and he's not Herman
No,
Cain, which
no,
many
no.
people said
No,
before.
no,
Oh,
yeah.
they all led the
You're
polls.
right. He's not
Yeah.
those people.
Now,
I
he
agree.
hasn't said anything like Hillary did today or like Governor Huckabee did, before, where they step on the Hitler train and say something about that. If he does that, do you think he'll be able to overcome? I mean, is that inevitable for him to step on his own foot? Because so far he hasn't done that.
Well, he did when he announced. He called what he said about immigrants and rape. That fit into that mode.
But he hasn't stepped that far like Hillary did today.
No, Hillary said boxcars today. Referring to.
Yeah, we keep thinking he keeps stepping over the line,
Yeah.
only to find out
Nobody
that
cares.
There is
nobody
no
cared
line.
about
There
the
is no
line.
line
There's
for
no
Donald
line.
Trump.
So,
For Donald
Steve,
Trump.
you're going to be coming on this station at 7 after we're done.
Right after
tell
you're
us,
done.
Tell us what you
Lindsey
have.
Graham will be here today, a two-parter with Lindsey Graham, and Larry Klayman reacting to the fact that a judge overturned his victory in a lawsuit against Obama on the NSA. So we'll get all that in and much more. The Mollsberg panel, Give Me Five, and all that.
And if you want to comment on our discussion we just had with the King of Newsmax, you can go to newsmaxtv.com/comments. Coming up next, Hillary Clinton takes aim at the GOP. Stay tuned.